on top of your head, and then you strap the cord around your chin and you clip it on this side. Make sure that the clip is on the left side of your head. Okay? Can you do it yourself or should I help you?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, you can make it bigger on the bottom. Oh, you don't have to rush it. Yes, perfect. Yes. So remember that you can also always see yourself over there. Yeah? And you can now enter the process space. Yes. Well, for you, we have this device. This device makes you able to see into the world of memories. You can also see that we can see your vision over there. The only thing is, we did hear that the vision is not one-to-one. So keep that in mind while you're communicating. Then, once you put it on, you will see a door in front of you. That's your first task. You go through the door and enter the process space in the world of memories. Yeah? After you've done that, you'll need to find the memories that are attached to the objects. You can see the objects over here, but they will be, well, I don't think they will look exactly the same as they do here. You also need to help him with this, okay? Then the next thing, you see it's attached to a wire. It can only go so far. This is also where you have to help him. You have to notify him when he is reaching the end of the wire or if it's stuck behind something. Yeah? Yeah. You need to make sure he doesn't bump into anything and that he can move around freely. The guide, indeed, you can call it that. Once you've found a memory, you'll need to activate it before you can relive it. This is different for every memory, but I've heard that you have to use the object in the same way it has been used in the memory. Yeah? For the objects, I recommend you start with the chair. Yeah? Then, once you've activated the memory, just watch and observe and take it all in. You don't have to do anything while you're reliving the memory. Okay? Once you've had all the three memories and you relived all three of them, you'll together need to judge which one is the most valuable. That's what it's all about in the end. Yeah? Well, I know it's a lot to take in, so I'll recap it slowly for you. First task, go through the door and enter the process space. Then you'll need to find the objects with the memories attached to them. Then you'll need to activate a memory. Then you can relive it and just take it all in. After three memories, you have to decide which one was most valuable. Also for you, you might be able to see some lost memories floating around in there. Yeah. Don't worry about them, they can't harm you in any way. Okay? Yes. So now you can put on the headset. Okay.
How do you actually activate a memory?
We're not sure, it's different for every object, but you have to use the object in the same way it has been used in the memory. That's all we know. So try to use your intuition and your imagination and try to figure out what that handling precisely is. All right, can you see the door in front of you?
Ik heb spot voor
Terug naar Discord. Can you see the door? All right, you enter the process space. Now you have to find the first memory.
Okay, so if you follow my voice, then here say there's a door. Hello, Paulus. Oh, yeah. You go a bit lower. Yeah. You found it. What are you supposed to do with it? Yes, go sit on it. Here. Yeah, right. See anything different? Oh. Big white box.
God fucking piece of dog shit, worthless hellhole. Fuck, what a shit day and what a shit store.
Sorry.
Fien is looking at me. I think she's angry. I try to understand her, but I can't seem to grasp why she's angry. Is she angry with me? Is that fair? I was home this entire day. It couldn't be that she's mad at me. Before she takes off her coat, she zips open a small pocket on her breast and takes out a key. What looks like a moment of doubt turns into a confident stride towards the back door of the garden. With a sigh, somewhere between frustration and exhaustion, she turns the key counterclockwise in the lock. The sun isn't shining today, but it's still warmer out than I expected it to be. Beneath her coat, Fien is wearing a white blouse with sleeves that flutter beautifully on a windy day. Occasionally they get in her food and I hear her curse. As long as I've known her, she wears mostly skirts. Today the choice is what I described as red or purple. I can feel that underneath that purple-red skirt and white blouse with flappy sleeves, she's got a lot of frustration, so I follow her outside. She trusts me and I always hope that me being close to her helps her somewhat. There's a small doorstep on the way outside. Recently I've started noticing that I find it harder to lift myself over it. Her old, weary eyes look at me. The small crevices around the corners of her white tighten a bit. Relief, or calm, I hope. Somewhere in the back of my mind I always thought this only happened to old folks, that I would be the one that would be able to keep running. And look at us now. A walk that takes us further than the garden is almost too much. I really do wind myself up too much over all of this, don't I? She releases a tired giggle. I respond, happy, and in my own way I probably show some relief as well. Before I can give a clearer response, she's already shuffling back inside. In our living room there stands a dark, oaken cabinet full of scratches. Those scratches were made by cats back when they still lived in this house. It never annoyed us that our things could get old and might go lost. If you'd open the left door you would find books, full of pictures of us when we were a lot younger. There's also a lot of kids and animals, many of whom I've never known. All of the books have a small paper on them that says what's in them. Since the time Fien accidentally served me cat food as dinner, there have been notes all over the house with explanations of what everything is. Today she opens the right door of the cabinet and finds a black with red record player. There's a note here as well, although I can't see it well from where I'm watching now. She doesn't need to read this paper to know what she must do. Her hands caress the multiple records and take precisely the one they want. The needle trembles in her loose grasp, before eventually finding its way to the right place. Fien loves her music very much. I see her sitting on the floor, her purple-red hands resting on a purple-red skirt. I love her so much. She beckons me to sit with her on the large chair, even though it just barely fits us two. Her warmth circles around me like a blanket around a newborn baby. I feel between the music and her warmth, I feel that's where I am. From the cabinet she takes an empty note and a pen and writes something down. With the most beautiful eyes in the whole world she looks at me, for now and forever. And she sticks the note at my head.
Het is een onzichtbare fiets geworden. Nu moet ik gaan fietsen, hè? Dan moet je fietsen.
My father once wrote, "A boy lives only in his early dreams. Catchy tunes in his head, lyrics without fear. He does not yet know what to believe, or if he should believe at all, but faith alone is what keeps him going. Tu enlèves? Tu? Voici nous que? Tu es né? She smirks as she says that. Y a-t-il des cris et beaucoup de sang de ma mère? It's windy today, my hair is blowing into my mouth. Dépêchez-vous? We've been cycling all day to get here. It's a wonder how much energy she still has. Now I see her standing before me in front of a high, chalk-white cliffside. Rough yellow, grey-colored sand and small seashells under our feet. The way she interacts with me is fascinating to me. In one moment she shows me her full interest, like she wants to climb inside of me and discover everything I have in here. The next moment she's making playful remarks, throwing rocks, joking that I should take my clothes off. Then seriousness again, showing only in her eyebrows. And now I am taking off my blouse. Her hair is shorter than mine, too short to comb well, but is starting to show the need. No jewelry in her face, but around her neck, atop her breast, a small ring, silver, dangling on a thin chain. Beneath that, a low-hanging pendant, golden. All this is resting on top of a couple of sizes too big blouse, beige as the main color. Patterned with green leaves, a couple of spots of dark red roses, painted on herself. In her hands lives a camera, screaming for attention, inquiring an image of me. Normandy coast, a place that I often go to visit for fun. I've seen parts of it as a kid, on family trips, Dieppe, Le Havre, Le Tréport, but never the cliffs in between. Saint Marguerite-sur-Mer, there's a bunker here that fell off the cliff in World War II. Broken, forgotten pieces lie here now on the beach, bigger than I expected, in a pose that looks like the Nazis won the war on gravity. I can see now why she wanted to go photograph me here. I can't see why I'm taking off all my clothes. N'enlève pas tes bottes? She points at my feet. Pourquoi? Ils sont mignons. Kind of a relief, no sand between my toes, although I wouldn't really call my boots pretty. They're old brown leather boots, once pulled from my mother's dead body by my sister. If that's funny or morbid, I'm not sure yet. There I stand, naked as the day I was born, my firm buttocks bare towards her. Large, graceless boots below my thin, gaunt limbs. I look at the bunker and wonder how it can be so massive, so brutish and yet so vulnerable. I look down at my boots, think of my mother, of how I had to look up at her. Saw more of her boots than her face in the end. I think of that kid and all his dreams. Think of how I must look right now, through the lens of the camera, between white, foaming waves that keep stitching themselves with this solid piece of grueling history. With no color, large and small at the same time, shoddy boots, jaggy legs, bare bum, in front of a seemingly endless sea, unsure to be nude, sure to be nude. Will the painting she's going to make look just like this photo? Tu es belle. Click.
Open the menu.
My dream reality.
This sound?
I think that's how it works, right? Give it to you. My guy, you are my eyes. Here, people, sir. You hear that as well, right?
Yeah, ik ben in de café om een liedjes.
I don't see people.
Oké, maar heb je in? Nou, het is close. Dat is heel hard. Zie je stoot? There's a bed here. I didn't see that.
There's no basket.
Everyone around me is taller than I am. I'm guessing it's spring, as they're wearing lots of color. I see blouses, shirts in bright reds, azure blues, unnatural greens, most with something of a nature pattern. I look down, it's spring on me as well. A red with purple spotted shirt, prints of dinos and surfboards. We're at a Pink Floyd concert, I think. They're playing something of the dark side of the moon. I don't recognize everything they play, but I do know this one. I'm sweating like crazy. It's unbearably hot. For a moment everything turns black and I almost lose my balance. I breathe in and out a couple of times, deeply, and focus on the ground. Stare at my socks, blue ankle-high socks. Why am I not wearing shoes? You speak to me. I see you sitting there on your knees, staring at something above. You've put on a long black vest that hangs a bit beneath your hips. With your growing, muddled head of hair that just doesn't reach your shoulders, you remind me of a French woman staring out of her window. Look, the clouds are becoming dragons. I lower myself to my knees and sit down next to you. We look through the attic window and I try to see what you see, but I get lost in my own vision. Across from us, there are other houses where you can just look into the attic windows. You're pointing at the clouds, ash-grey shapes in front, sheet white in the back. How they're forming a dragon. An eastern one, broad mouth, large eyes. I nod and try to see it, tell you I see it, even though I just see clouds. I look at that attic window again, dream about who comes there every day, what they're doing in there. I lose myself in that dream for a moment, and find myself standing in their attic. I see two standing lights turned off, their hoods turned yellow from the sunlight, a worn-out couch covered with a plastic rag to keep insects and dust off, an easel for portraits of men wearing either a flat cap or a beret, a wooden box where I'm guessing is where the paints and brushes are kept. I hear a whistle behind me. Turn around. My eyes have to adjust to how dark it is in here compared to outside. The far walls constantly changing color, blue, green, yellow, red, pink, purple, and back to blue again. There's a keyboard flat against the wall, unused for a long time. The roof is slanted towards the middle of the room. On this middle line there hang different blouses on clothes hooks, lots of different bright colors that cheer you up. You've already removed your French vest again and are standing before me with one of those spring blouses. There's a new song coming on. I feel the loss of my body again and lower myself to the floor, leaning against your bed. You're standing there, start buttoning up your newly won blouse and begin to dance. This is a special moment. I know this moment is special and you're a special person. In all your innocence, beneath 5 colored blouses, you're dancing from the core of your body into your wild head of hair. Dancing here with this music and these blouses, it feels like we're living somewhere in the 80s. My eyes try to create images that I can cherish in the future. Perhaps one day I'll share them with you. Maybe I'll let you dance again. The whole world lives, the whole world colors. It's the year 2020 and we're sitting in a small attic in Utrecht. I dream and you dance, as if eternity exists and is our lover.
So now successfully you've seen all the 3 memories. Now you have to determine which one was the most valuable. If you've selected one, you can put the object in the middle of the space. You can see the light over there. You can put the object in the light, the object of your choosing, the memory of your choosing. After that you can take your device and after that you can leave the process space. Right?
So what I saw, right? Yeah. You saw it as well, right? Not here. Sure it's not here? Up to us. This one I was the second one was you heard of it. I'm going to go with music. Understand. This is really sexual imagery, but also press. It's also that's I know I dance with a dog. I dance. You had the most stuff, right?
So now you can lead him outside of the process space.
I'm looking at you. Thank you. Your home.
thank you all for your attention. This was the end of our experience.
Nog hebben we het. Nog hebben we het.
So if everybody is ready, we can go back to the classroom and have a conversation about this.
Sure.
Okay.
No, I'm not muted anymore. Okay.
Yeah.
That was interesting.
Yeah, wonderful.
Yeah, I gotta go, but I want to say that was awesome. I enjoyed the whole performance.
That was
It was
amazing.
really great.
Agreed.
Yeah, it was amazing.
That was
thank you very
awesome.
much.
One of the most creative things.
It was
was
big in
great.
the process.
Can we
Yeah.
just give an
That was
applause at
beautiful.
least so
Yeah.
Joris
Yeah,
can receive
woo!
it on behalf
Oh
of
my goodness.
everybody?
Amazing.
Well done, well done.
Fantastic.
Goosebumps.
Spectacular.
Yeah.
Goosebumps. That's what I have right now. Goosebumps.
Oh, wow, that's
Goosebumps.
great to hear.
Mhm.
Yeah, goosebumps. Like, I don't know, is this
Yeah.
amazing.
It was
All of you guys. Wow.
fantastic.
Blown away. Very, very beautiful.
Yeah.
Emotional and immersive and trippy.
Also
Really.
optical nice. It was really nice to look at, to see the scenery.
Really
I
great
really
to
like
hear
them.
such positive reactions.
It was, to me, it was very, very emotional. The story with the dog and the owner and the chair was just like, I got like very emotional during that. It was beautiful. I mean, you can see I'm fond of the canine. The interaction with the live audience, was so cool, and the technical, like how you guys managed, like changing all the scenes, and oof, I mean, just blown away. Really, really, really impressed. You guys should feel really proud of yourselves.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'm actually surprised at how well it went. I'm really happy.
It went really, really well. I was definitely like wondering, like, okay, this because you have a lot of moving pieces. Very, very ambitious, man. Very, very ambitious.
Yeah, I
so
believe
smooth,
currently.
even though like they had the
Really
people
smooth.
like physically somewhere else, it felt like a whole cohesive thing. It's like really really cool.
Let's move a bit more into the space because we're surrounding this Lotte ghost, so it's maybe nice to...
I have to say, I got so excited about wearing the avatars. At first, it was like, oh, yes, okay, I'll put the dog on. I wasn't quite sure, but I knew he had told us to put the dog on. But then once I understood kind of my own role and I got comfortable with it, I couldn't wait to put the next avatar on. Like I got really, really excited about putting the bird on and about putting the dragon on because I knew what I was doing and I felt like I was part of the piece. So that was really great. And I kept wanting to, you had told us, Joris, that it was okay to kind of fly into their space because it would be okay, because it was part of this experience. But I was still a little bit apprehensive to do so. And I kept waiting to see if anybody else would, because I knew you told me that. Intellectually, I knew it was okay. But there was something emotionally, like I didn't want to disrupt this thing. And so every time I saw somebody else go in, I'd be like, okay, I'll go in too. And then I was in and I felt really good. So just to share that, like that experience from my perspective of like, learning the rules, getting comfortable in the space, and then very, very quickly, actually, getting quite excited and connected to my role as this kind of semi-spectator player kind of thing. So I think you guys did a very good job of setting it all up, and it was really fun experience for me to just learn my role and play with it and get more and more comfortable as it went. That was great. I actually cannot wait to do it again. If I could stay for the next one, I have to teach a class in 5 minutes. If I could stay for the next one, I would do it in a heartbeat, and I will be at all the ones in January. I'll cancel my classes to come back to this because this was.
Yeah, we'll let you know the dates, and you're most welcome to see, of course, in January how they progressed and
absolutely.
fine-tuned this whole experience.
You have to keep me away. Yeah,
All right.
You have to keep me away. That was really,
Good.
really great.
Hey, thank you, Jason, for your feedback. And it's so nice to hear from you because you know as no other in NEOS how hard it is to engage larger crowds. So I'm very happy that you're excited by the students' interpretation of involving audience as part of the experience. So thank you for giving that back.
Give me a chance to come back and meet with all the students and have another
for
Q&A
sure.
session.
Yes.
Just give me a little bit of notice. I will carve out the afternoon.
Yeah, we'll see in a week or 2 weeks. We'll do a feedback session. That would be great. Yeah.
Okay. I do have to go. My
Hey,
class is waiting for me.
Have fun with your
Zoom world.
students.
Unfortunately, I've got to go to stupid Zoom 2D world. I wish I could keep it. Anyway, have another great performance in a few minutes. And Joris, thank you for inviting me, and bravo to you and all of your students, man. Just really,
Well, it's the students, man.
From the bottom of my heart,
All
blown
right.
away, just blown away.
All right.
Okay.
Talk soon.
Bye, guys. Okay, bye.
Joris Dingelstad, one of the most creative things I've ever seen in NEOS. And as far as performances go, which I haven't seen tons all around, but in VR, I hope that you all keep pursuing this sort of thing. I think you're on to a right track as far as making immersive theater something that traverses something in the real world that we're used to, but so much more surreal and beautiful. I'm from Thursday seeing what you all did to now. It's just like I was breathless. I was just
Good.
It's fantastic.
Good.
I'm
Yeah,
getting
good.
emotional.
Good.
I think
Good.
you all,
It really
wow.
says,
Please
sorry,
more of
it
that.
really says something for how well you managed to integrate the two spaces that we felt that we would be trespassing if we moved into that
Yeah.
kind of central area, because it really, felt that we were part of the scene and that we would be doing something strange if we wandered in. So
Yeah.
I think that just shows the presence that you managed to bring into the VR aspect of it.
Yeah, I'm still invisible, but I really enjoyed the fact it was very immersive. The little I don't know if they were ghosts or the clouds, the black and the white figures that were down in that was really it helped me feel like I'm a part of it, a little bit like I'm invading, like I'm being invasive into this very emotional memory. But at the same time, when they looked at me, when those little clouds looked at me, that was I was part of that story, and it was really that was a unique aspect of it that I really enjoyed.
Curious, is that you? Because we don't see you. It's so weird. Everybody's like, who is
Disembodied
talking?
voice.
Yeah, it's curious. Sorry. Yeah, I'm invisible. I'll make myself visible again.
Yeah, please do, because then we know in which direction to look. It's so weird.
Yeah.
There we go.
Oh, there you are.
Oh, wow.
All right. Yeah.
Nice.
Now I recognize you.
Because I was like, how come artist suddenly has this voice of curious and
Oh, sorry, I should have switched that. I'll do that next time.
Yeah, Joris and Joris, please more of that.
Yes.
Well, good. I'm happy to hear. I'm so happy you all came, and because this is not something you can explain later. You have to really experience it. So I'm so happy that you all did. Joris, do you feel you need to go to your group because you're doing another round, right?
I didn't see the previous participants leave yet, so I'm pretty sure
Oh, they're probably also still. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they need some aftercare because they're crying now, probably.
I am disappointed that the rest of the students can't be here in this room right now.
I agree. You have to receive all the love and then, against all Corona rules, start hugging them when you see them. So.
Yeah.
Okay, I see that Lotte is trying to reach us, so that's good to invite her in. So, So, anybody else would like to share some of your thoughts, or maybe you have a question, or maybe
Well, I like the anonymity of like all of us having like basically a randomized avatar, and we don't know which a person is, and it also creates an interesting dynamic to sort of express yourself.
Yeah,
that was also cool.
Actually, I have a question. What made you decide to use voiceover versus dialogue between others?
You mean for the story, right?
For the storytelling, yes.
Well, Robin is the Robin is the person that are my the other student in our group that wrote all the stories, and I believe we just came to that decision because he just started writing a story from the perspective of one person. Oh yeah, and also because the story is meant to be told from the perspective of the person that owned the memory. So it wouldn't make a lot of sense to have a dialogue there. Well, it could, but that's the decision we made.
Yeah.
And if I might add, it was quite effective. I've been wondering how well that would be effective in like telling narrative inside VR, because might be too much. It was perfectly well done. Liked it a lot.
Yeah, I was a bit skeptical about it as well, but it worked so well because what I'm really happy with, what we accomplished, is to get a rhythm through the experience between doing and listening, between, like hearing the story and then participating. And I'm really happy that it's a very fine line to find a balance there where you want to be engaged, but you also want to tell a story. And I think the people who now tried it out, they sat down on a chair and started to listen. And I think the physical light helped a lot as well. But for us, it was the same. I felt it was great to be a seagull or a little dog. While I heard the story, I felt I was indeed like part of the story without literally being in the story. I mean, I'm not sure how to say it exactly, but it's something like that. We were reenacting a memory that was not ours, which is why it's important that you're not, like role-playing the memory, because it's a memory. It's not ours. It's not our memory. So I agree. It really worked.
I know exactly what you're saying, Joris. Joris W. Basically, I know I got to differentiate Joris quickly.
Yeah, I'm cloning myself.
So I know what you mean. That's when you watch film or other types of experiences where the blinders are put on and you're just kind of immersed completely. I hate to use that word constantly, but where you don't think about anything else around you and you're just there in that presence itself.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you mean, that type of feeling where nothing else is there except where you're at.
Yeah.
It seems really... I think for me personally, I have a really hard time paying attention. So for me, it was possibly a little too much visual bits going on to the point where I was like pulled out of the story quite a few times. But it was really interesting seeing the pairing between the real world and replicating that into virtual, and then all of those interactions and all the amount of parity that was there. I'm an engineering person, so for me, it's like, ooh, the technical side. But for me, it was really interesting to see that level of integration between using real world objects as roots of digital objects.
Yeah.
And
what we haven't explained is that one of the audience members was holding a telephone and had a live stream of the NEOS scene with the tracker. So they basically they're like holding a phone like a camera into that virtual world as well. So also the physical audience members not only had the projections as a reference, but also had their own little window into the NEOS world. So they have seen us also float around, so to speak.
Oh, that's cool. I'm up I'll go back down.
Yeah, Joris, you did it, man.
Yeah.
You did it. Yeah, good. I'm so happy that you experienced the magic of theater where nothing works 10 minutes before you start and then suddenly things come together. That's theater
insane.
for you. Yeah.
We've had my VR headset plugged in all day to work, and it worked perfectly. And the minute we started, it crashed.
I know. Yeah. No, good. But you all kept at it, and I'm super happy. So when you see everybody, just give them a warm applause from me as well. I'm super excited about what you accomplished in just 3 weeks. That's amazing. And I'm so happy that you took everything on board that we discussed in the last intense 3 days. And that you're still standing. And as you can hear from all the feedback, people are really mesmerized, touched, intrigued, inspired. So that's not a bad job for a 3rd and 4th year bachelor student. So well done. You can stay here. I'm not sure if you want to go back, but if you should, you should.
I'm gonna go check in the real world real quick where we're at.
Is there anybody from the group who wants to see it again? If so, you can, yours can come back and give us a signal. Otherwise, we can just have a nice social continuation of our conversation. It's up to you. But why don't you go and check and come back, say if you start again, or maybe you have already started. I'm not
I
sure.
can record the session again too to get more footage.
Right.